La 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 la. Welcome to episode 15 of the Wig Alopecia podcast. My name is Jeffree Vesper. Monkey Pump! Welcome to the pod. Guys, I have so much to talk to you about today. Not just because of new music releases. We're going to be talking about Chase Icon today, y'all. But also, I've got other things to talk about. So lock in, get settled, grab a snack, grab 14 cheeseburgers from McDonald's. Did you guys know they don't come in singles? Yeah, you have to buy 14 at a time. I'm sure you saw the thumbnail, but Chase Icon's new album, Icon Baby, is out. That's going to be toward the end of the episode. But guys, I've got so much to talk about before that. I've got memes. I've got Sonic the Hedgehog. I've got a lot to talk about. So let's jump right in and get talking because I'm on a time crunch. I've got places to be and I've got to go fast. With all these new album releases, you guys know I had to bring out the couture for you guys for this OOTD. So let's take a gander. I have on my Sonic the Hedgehog and Shadow the Hedgehog hoodie, which is very cute, very soft, and very cozy. I have on a skirt. It's not actually a skirt. It just looks like a skirt. It's actually a dress, but I'm pretending it's a skirt, and you guys will be too. I have on the red tights, and I'm not going to show you guys my feet because guess what? There's no shoes on here. There are socks, but they look gross, so I'm not going to show you. But the back of this hoodie, look at the back of this hoodie. I think I look pretty good today, and your boyfriend probably does too. How do you guys feel about getting ghosted? I have been the ghoster, and I have been the ghostee. And if you don't know the difference, the ghoster is the person that is ghosting. So like, I'm like... But I've also been the ghostee, and I've been the ghostee a lot in my life, and sometimes I've been devastated by this. Floored, devastated, depressed, not over it. Some of those people, these men that have ghosted me, they were the one. A misconnection, one could say. But, you know, I'm not going to cry over getting ghosted anymore. In fact, I'm going to start ghosting more people. Actually, I try not to ghost people anymore. I've ghosted some people in the past, and I kind of feel kind of bad for it. Me? Empathy? No. We don't have that here. I'm knocking things over. But, you know, I don't want to ghost people anymore. But then it's like with guys specifically, I feel like I will be like, hey, I'm not really as into you as I thought I might have been. And I'm just trying to keep it candid and real at the gig. And then they get mad and call me fat. And you know what? You were the one talking to the fatty. So what does that say about you? What does that say about you talking to the fat fatty? Which there's nothing wrong with being a fat fatty yet. Except for heart disease. I know. Am I going to die of heart disease? I hope not. But maybe. Who knows? Are we just closing around here? Keep talking how big I'm getting? Lord. Anyways, yeah. Do you guys like getting ghosted? I don't really like getting ghosted. I think it's not great. It's not great. But have I ghosted people? Yeah. And is that my problem? Yeah. And should we do it as a society to each other? Probably not. But also, if you're doing something casual or just talking, you don't really owe people a reply. And then I'm also like, maybe we should just turn off our phones more because I love turning off my phone. I love having a do not disturb mode. I love having a little sleep mode activated so you can't bother me. You can't be texting me. You can't even try to ghost me because guess what? I'm ghosting you. I am ghosting you before you can even try to ghost me. Before you can even think about turning on your sleep mode, my sleep mode's on, girl. I am not available. But yeah, turn on your do not disturb modes, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between, because you do not have to have your screen time up to 9 hours a day like I did last week. 9 hours. I'm going to quit social media so I do not have to be on my phone. And you guys are going to be mad. It's going to happen. Anyways, how are you guys doing? How's your mental health? I feel schizophrenic sometimes because I'm just like listening to myself, talk to myself. Hey, Jessie. Hey, Jeffree Vesper. How are you, girl? Hey. So yeah, trying to get my screen time down again. And by trying, I mean, I'm struggling. So, dance. We're getting out my broken headphones per the usual, and we're going to start with some reactions. I almost said interviews. I don't know who we're interviewing. So the first one is a clip of Beyonce. Since we've been having so much Beyonce slander on the podcast today, I thought, why not have a Beyonce meme? You know? And I can't play the full video here because of audio that will get copyright claimed, copyright striked. You know how I feel about that. But guys, listen to this. You won't break my soul, yes, flags. She says, yes, flags. But the girls and everybody seem to think she says something else. And I thought that was really funny. I thought that was really cute. I thought that was acceptable. This is what I actually saw this morning, and it cracked me up, and you'll see why.
People that masturbate are the pros at meditation. And your mind doesn't know the difference between something that's in the spirit and something that's real. Because you could get your body to react to something that you're thinking on as much as it reacts as if it were actually happening. So that's how powerful your mind is, and how your body will follow whatever you think on or whatever you do.
I'm sorry, what? I'm sorry, what? But her hair, though, her look is fierce. Check that microphone out, too. Like, she's pretty fierce. I don't really know what she's talking about there. This next one is just a video of me at church, so... Get it, girl! This is why we are the Wig Alopecia podcast, people. Like, yes, Diva Doll, let's freaking go. 30 inches, I'm illegally blonde and going platinum. Like, girl, let's go. This next one is Lindsay Lohan, because of course, as you guys know, I love Lindsay Lohan and her acting career is everything to me.
How old are you?
26.
Who edited this? Who edits these, guys? I need you people. You people can edit better than me, and I love it. I know that's so simple, but it's so freaking funny. I have to stop. This is why my screen time is 9 hours, guys. I can't do this. This next one is meme of the week, and the caption says, me in the middle of the night talking to my fake interviewer. And that would hit home with me, as you guys could probably imagine.
I faced a lot of demons. I had to look in the mirror and really self-reflect. And being in this big house is so lonely.
It's not funny. It's not funny. I'm sorry, Jeffree. Oh my God, my Lord and Savior. Guys, people on the internet are so mean. I don't know how they think of this stuff. Like, my brain is rotten. That one really cracked me up when I first saw it. Sometimes I'd be like vegetating on the couch. I'll be like, that's me scrolling. And then I'll see something, right? So I'm like, that's what that video made me do while I was brain rotting, because I was just like, I sometimes I have to scroll the reels. And like, can we talk about reels for a second? Like, guys, I don't just see thirst traps anymore on the reels, right? So we know that I see daddies on the reels. We've covered that at length, I think, now. But guys, now I see people like literally dying, and racism and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I think it's because, hear me out, sometimes there's a meme that is way too dank to put into this video, and it'll make me react, right? Because my face will actually be expressive, and I think they're gathering my microdatas and they're pushing more to it because it makes my face go or something, you know, reactionary content. Am I the problem? I know these, like, I get the daddies. I do. But guys, I'm the problem. Oh my God. Every time I talk, I'm like, I'm the problem. I'm literally the problem. I am the problem. I'm the problem. So the next thing is not really a meme, but I did discover it because you guys might have already noticed that I'm watching Dr. Stone. And I do need anime recommendations because I need something along the lines of Dr. Stone, My Hero Academia, a little bit maybe The Apothecary Diaries. Like, I need stuff like that. A little wholesome, a little funny, a little drama, right? A little action. I don't need anything too crazy because, again, I'm trying to like sleep. And usually like I watch anime to try and sleep because I have sleeping issues. Okay. So I've been watching a couple episodes of Dr. Stone when I can't sleep lately. And guys, I like Dr. Stone. I'm like 1,000,000,000% sure that I like Dr. Stone. Do you guys see what I did there? Anyways, I've been watching Dr. Stone and I saw this clip in Dr. Stone. So I recorded it. I'm going to see if I can find it to insert. But if I can't find it to insert, I'm just going to show you my little recording. But guys, this is Katy Perry going to space. The Katy Perry slander. I know. And I know I'm already laughing. But if you guys didn't know, Katy Perry is going to space allegedly. So let me just show you this. And then you can decide if this is Katy Perry going to space. Please hold.
This gentleman here is Shamil.
Why are these hallways so narrow? Look, I ain't nothing like the rest of y'all. I spent $50 million to buy a ride on the Soyuz. I'm one of the first space tourists in history. Not to mention a certified international celebrity. A pop diva. I'm Lillian.
A pop diva. I am Lillian. I love Lillian. Lillian is iconic. Icon. That is literally Katy Perry going to space. But if you, spoiler alert, if you keep watching, like 5 seconds later, she's joshing everybody. She's joking. She's just playing. She's joshing. And she's chill. But I thought that was so funny because, like, if I was a pop diva, I would totally scare people on purpose and then be like, girl, I'm just kidding. So, yeah, that was funny. I was like, this is literally Katy Perry. And I had to pause it. Do you guys ever, like, watch something, like, videos, like, whatever, this video even, and you have to, like, pause it? Because it's so funny. You have to like pause and then laugh. Because I do that all the time. I really do. I have to, or like I'm so shook by something. Sometimes I'm so, like the information is too much. And I'm like, horror movies too. Like it's too graphic and I'll have to pause and be like, what am I doing with my life? Like, and sometimes I pause it and turn it off and do something else because not that I'm bored. I'm like, this is just too much right now. I can't do this. And perhaps that is just a me problem. Perhaps it is, but I just have to be open with you guys. I have to be candid about these things, you know? So the other day, I was sent the Sonic Syndrome test, and I'm going to try to remember to link it down below for you guys so you can take it yourselves and find out who you are, to find out how to find out truly who you are, because I needed enlightenment. I was flabbergasted when I was sent this because I was like, I didn't know this is what I needed in my life and what I had been missing for so long. So I took the test. There's a bunch of multiple choice questions. Well, I guess, I don't know, multiple choice. I guess it's a multiple choice. You kind of answer to what degree you feel these certain things. And it gives you a percentile of what amount of the character you are. And guys, I'm not shocked here. Actually, I am shocked here. I thought I'd get somebody ago, but I got Amy Rose, and I thought that was so iconic. So let's just review my test results here, okay? So I'm gonna have to lean in here a little bit because I'm blind, but my shadow PTSD was 80%. I was shocked. I was shocked to find this out. Also, this is credible. It is medically diagnosed, and all of these results are accurate, just so you guys know. That was disinformation. The Sonic ADHD was 65%, which was actually scoring lower than I thought I would score. And then Amy Rose, which is the dependent attachment style, it would seem 85%. And guys, I'm not super shocked by this, but I was a little surprised, but kind of iconic, I will say. So spoiler alert, I did get Amy Rose. She was my highest score, but I did score 70% in Knuckles, which was OCPD. And then I did 70% as well in Dr. Eggman, who was the narcissist, of course. And is anybody really surprised about that one?
The answer is yes. And no.
And then Metal Sonic, I scored 50%, and Tails Anxiety, I also scored 80%. So I was pretty high in PTSD, anxiety, and dependent. So that was very enlightening. I would love for you guys to take this test and let me know your results in the comment section down below. If you don't want to break a HIPAA violation by telling me, that is fine as well. So let me know who you get. Because guys, whoever makes these little quizzes, I love you. I love you so much. They're so fun. They're fun and fresh, and they're iconic. Should I have shared this on X or the Facebook? Perhaps, but I did not. So I'm sharing it with you now. We need to touch on horror movies really quickly because if you guys don't know, and I don't think I've ever spoken about this publicly, but I do really love and enjoy horror movies. Good, bad ones, whatever. I enjoy a horror movie. I enjoy a horror movie that's pushing the box just as much as I enjoy a slasher. Okay, I like blood and guts because I am a flawed individual. But I saw the TV Glow, and I was highly anticipating this film, and I was impressed by one thing. In the two things, perhaps. I was impressed by the lighting in this movie. Okay, that really impressed me. I thought it was gorgeous. There was a lot of really cool lighting scenes, but I was also impressed with how the dialogue just never would end in a bad way. And this is no shade at the actors or actresses or anybody in the film, but I was really kind of confused by the whole direction of the movie. It had some fun parts like this.
I and I shit my pants.
That might have been my favorite part of the movie. Like, no joke, guys. Like that, I was watching it with a couple friends, and I was truly just like, oh my God, time and place. I will show you my pink opaque. Okay, I will show you my pink opaque. And if you don't like it, take a picture, it'll last longer. That didn't make any sense. Like, get your jokes together, girl. Darn, I can't even riff today. I read on the World Wide Web that the movie was an allegory for gender and transitioning. And I thought that was a really weird allegory to make because it was a very dialogue heavy movie. I thought it would be much more jump scary, much more horror, much more sucking you into the TV kind of thing. The vibe of like screen violence cover, by churches that we've already talked about at length on this podcast. I really thought it would be more like that, but the lighting was impressive. I was kind of lost in the sauce on this one, guys. And usually I'm pretty locked in. So maybe I'll give it another shot because I felt like I missed a lot of the dialogue just because I was like, huh? Like that's how I felt the whole time. I really did feel like the cat. But I would watch it again, but not for the reasons of enjoyment that normal people would watch a movie again. Probably because sometimes when I don't understand something, I'm like, I need to sit and spend more time with this because obviously somebody likes it and this project has meaning behind it, right? So like I try to like find meaning in those things, and I'm not talking about this necessarily anymore, like the movie, but sometimes I sit with something and then I'm like, no, it's just bad. And that's okay. Speaking of allegories for transition, Vivian Jenna Wilson was on the cover of Teen Vogue recently. And if you don't know who she is, I feel like it is only noteworthy to mention here for the context of the reader, the viewer, the listener, that she is Elon Musk's transgender daughter, that he constantly misgenders in the press and treats like garbage. And she has cut him off. She is estranged from her father, and she was on the cover of Teen Vogue and did a bunch of photo shoots with them. She looks amazing. She looks so good, so beautiful. Loves it, okay? That said, the article that was published by Teen Vogue was actually a really interesting interview, and I want to read you guys an excerpt. I also think it's noteworthy and iconic that Vivian only has Threads and not X because it is a competitor to Twitter, and I think that's pretty cool. So the interviewer asked her, do you ever feel scared? He's the richest man in the world. And her answer is pretty iconic. She said, he's a pathetic man-child. Why would I feel scared of him? Ooh, he has so much power. Nah. I don't give a bleep. I don't give a bleep. Why should we be scared of this man? Because he's rich? Oh no, I'm trembling. Ooh, shiver in my boots here. I don't give a how much money anyone has. I really don't. He owns Twitter. Okay, congratulations. People thrive off fear. I'm not giving anyone that space in my mind. The only thing that gets to live free in my mind are drag queens. Guys, that is so iconic. The whole interview is really interesting. She talks about a whole different, like a lot of things from reality shows to Twitch streaming possibilities. And I just am rooting for her. Her Threads, I don't really use Threads that much, and I really should because I feel like it's better than Twitter. But I do like the pop divas on Twitter, so I kind of stay on there a little bit. I know. If you guys delete Twitter, I will. You just let me know, and I will. But yeah, I really like her, and she's pretty funny on there, so I definitely follow her on there and the Instagrams. What are you guys doing for the Teen Vogue party?
I don't know. I like a little edge and a little pop in my hair, so I wanted to add something different, especially for the Teen Vogue party.
Miley Cyrus, love her, hate her, twerk with her, whatever. I don't care about your opinions because I love Miley. Miley has been a staple in my life for many years, and her album Plastic Hearts will always have a very special place in my heart, and which I know everybody loves that album, but it's so freaking good and so many icons on it. There's only one bad song on there, and I'm not going to tell you what it is. But I bet you could guess. I also really love her album Bangers, and I liked her album Bangers before it was cool, and I would argue that it was a pioneering album of the sounds we hear today in the world, but that is a video for another day. I am shook because she has announced her new album, and the album art, let's just throw it up here, guys. Let's actually throw it up here for you, and then I have to talk about it because, guys, this album art is so freaking gorgeous, and I truly was flabbergasted. I am shook. It's so beautiful. Like the lighting composition, the vintage, the vintage, the vintage, guys. The vintage announcement. I followed Miley on Instagram and then I unfollowed her because I realized that her account wasn't ran by herself. And I would have stayed on there if it had been, but I was just like, I'd rather just see you in the news, my love, because I am already bombarded by distractions. And Miley Cyrus, I need to see her in her fullest form. And this is like one of those moments where I'm like, this is like, you can permeate my pop culture again, you know, in my pop culture brain, my pop heart, because I just love her. I love her so much. And just because I don't follow you doesn't mean I don't like you. You know what I mean? Sometimes I just like I might unfollow everyone. I might do that today. I might block you. Have you guys seen that video where he's like, "Oh, hey, can I have your Instagram?" And they like look it up. I can't remember their genders. I'm sorry. It's been so long since I saw this video. And then they block the Instagram instead of following them. That's shady and iconic, and I will do that to you. So if I ever ask you for your Instagram, get prepared because I'm blocking your ass. But no, this is so gorgeous. And I believe her album comes out in May 30th. May 30th. Let me check my notes. May 30th. Guys, May 30th is the new album, and I will be listening. Song of the week this week is Cupid's Girl by Marina, and I know what you guys are thinking. Are you wearing the butterfly panty? I'm not going to tell you. But guess what? I like this song. I like this song a lot. It's been on repeat. It has been in my most streamed of this week. And the thing, like, honestly, so I don't know how you guys' little brains work. Then my little brain went. But my little brain will, like, when I wake up, I'll start hearing music in my head because I'll like, have a song stuck in my head first thing in the morning. And I don't know what that is, what that's about, but I have that. And this has been that song for me. So I really like this song. Not really sure about the album art. It's cute. It's kind of giving illustration vibes for like the book for Eat the World, perhaps a little bit. But I did really enjoy the song, and it's fun, and it's like a little comedic. I think there's like a comedic. Well, Marina has a comedic element to some of her songs, I think, and I think this one does as well with the thum 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 that really gets me. I think it's funny, and it sounds good. I like it, but like whenever you go, you know, like with a little bow and arrow, it does make a throom noise. So I thought that was comedic. I found it comedic. Okay. I don't care about you. I don't care what you think. I don't care if you found it comedic, but I did. And my opinion matters and yours doesn't. Okay. Because I have a microphone and I'm the queen of the internet. So, and what? It's hard being an icon, okay? Now that I've been talking for 5 ever, I need to wind down this podcast because it's time for an album review. And you guys saw the thumbnail, and I've already alluded to it at the beginning of this video. But guys, Chase Icon released her new album called Icon Baby. And guys, the way I have been anticipating this album is not even funny. I have been ready. We've had 3 tracks, okay, off the album already. 4 if you count an unreleased track, okay? But we'll get to that later. 3 tracks legally released, and we had Like Me, SoCal Girl, and Job Application, right? So I have heard all those at length, been streaming. You guys probably have too, but if you haven't, okay, well, but that's an interesting choice to have made. But guys, this album, I was up late. Let's set the scene. I'm never up late. Hardly ever, okay? But on Monday nights, it's a school night for Miss Jessica Nicole. And guess what? I was doing school. So I'm like up, I'm typing away at my papers, I'm doing my thing, I'm studying, I'm like eating my cheeseburger, like I'm doing my thing, okay, right? Then I get my little pre-save notification that Miss Chase Icon is dropping her album. And I was like, oh, well, say no more, girl. Guess what? I am there. I am locked in. Which, let's just pause for a second. You know, I had that marked on my calendar. I knew Chase was already dropping it, but it just worked out that I was up because normally I would have already been in bed. But no. I was ready. So guess what? I whipped out the AirPods. I got on the little Twitter and I was sending some tweets, okay? And guys, I listened to this album 3 times last night. Thrice, okay? With headphones, and then this morning I listened about 10 times because I was writing the script. Okay, I was typing away, writing my script, and I was also just doing some things around the house, getting ready, etc. And I was listening to this album. So I have a pretty firm opinion on how I feel about it and what I have to say. But before we talk about that, I self-promoted on Twitter, and I also commented to Chase, and I said this. This is the interaction. I had an interaction with Chase Icon, and now the album is out. So if Chase Icon, you're watching this, just know that you are an icon. Obviously, you know that. It's in your name. But I love you. And this album is, spoiler alert, everybody, it's phenomenal. Okay? It is phenomenal. And I am going to give you a little rundown of how I feel about each song. So let's continue. This is a 12-track album, and it is 27 minutes long, which I felt like was a little short, but by today's industry standard, I feel like it's not too short because there could possibly be a deluxe coming. I have no confirmation. That's just a speculation on my account, but normally people are doing deluxes, right? So I could see there being a deluxe and making it a little longer, but I was happy with the length because with a lot of like the faster EDM stuff we're hearing now, or like electro clash, like all these new artists that are really bending genre, which I would argue that Chase Icon is creating an avenue all her own. They are definitely making music that is fashioned to do well on social media, right? Which is the new indie thing to do, right? Which makes sense, and I'm not shaming that at all because obviously get that bag, girl, right? And do what you gotta do to get that hit. But it's not just radio anymore, right? Is what I'm trying to say here. But I feel like a lot of these newer albums that are coming out from more indie artists, they are shorter tracks because people have shorter attention spans, that it gets clips of the song to go viral, right? That's my strategizing behind it. And if I were releasing an album right now, I might do the exact same thing. You're irrelevant. No one with you, and all your friends talk behind your back. So reevaluate your entire existence. Chase Icon likes Jeffree Star. I feel it in my gizzard. All trans girls have one. And guess what? She knows some deep cuts, but I wonder, I would like to have a conversation with Miss Chase Icon because our Lord and Savior Jeffree Star didn't die for our sins for us not to know every deep cut. So do you know deep cuts like this?
I had to do community service for a few months because I had a felony weapons charge.
Asking for a friend. So the first track on the album is Bang 2, and it has Warp Star as a producer, and I believe their name is pronounced Umru, I think. U-M-R-U. So hopefully I am saying that correctly. Everybody knows Bang by Chase Icon, of course. And if you don't, flop. Ha 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 ha. Flop. Okay. Guess what, guys? Everybody knows that song. And if you don't, pause this, go listen to it, and then get back to me because you're not going to understand what I'm talking about if you don't. Bang 2 is essentially the same song, but completely different, okay? We've got some similar lyrics, some similar song structure in areas, but we also have whole new verses and we have a whole new vibe. The production is completely different, but it's nice to have that familiarity. That's the word. I'm saying that right? It's good. It's nice. It throws you back, but it takes you forward into the new era of Chase Icon, right? Which, pause for a second, guys. I didn't even talk about the album art. We brought it up last episode, but each track has an album cover. Like it has a cover, right? It has its own little poster, and you can see that on the back of the record. The front of the record, so iconic, like presenting herself as the art piece, not once, but twice. Oh my God, this album cover is everything to me. It is everything to me. I need this album cover. I will drop 5,000 bands to get this on vinyl. Like I truly will. I want a signed copy so bad. Like I need, like, not just to sign my breasts. Don't just sign my breasts. I need you to sign my album too, okay? And yeah, so I know I accidentally skipped talking about the album cover, but now that we've covered that, guys, this might be the best album cover I've seen all year. And that's a hot take. But thus far, Miss Chase Icon, you have the best album cover of the year. I said it. You heard it here first on trannies.gov, okay? Guess what? Best album cover. So yeah, I will say Barely Human does sample Jeffree Star saying that on one of the songs. I believe they're all friends, so I think it's kind of cool that like that is becoming such like a pop culture moment of Jeffree in like music. So I'm just going to say this publicly now because I feel like if I don't say this publicly now, everybody in the world is going to get there before me. But I have thought for years, and I've said this privately to my friends, I have witnesses. Okay, I have witnesses. I feel like Jeffree Star needs to start working with this scene of people because the music he put out recently, I have opinions of that up. Okay, if you want to see those, you can go listen to those. But I feel like Jeffree needs to be working with like these newer artists that are really pushing forward his pioneer sound that he created early on in the MySpace era. And I know that people like Chase Icon and Barely Human would love to work with Jeffree. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. So I don't know these people personally, any of them. So I am just speculating here, but I think it would be so iconic. So Jeffree Star, Chase Icon, Aisha Erotica, Barely Human, can we all like get you guys working with Jeffree Star, please? Because it would be the most iconic thing in the world and it would break the internet and chart so well. So I'm just going to say that. I'm just going to say it. I said it. It's there. It's out there forever. You're welcome. The transition from, not that I know anything about transitioning, but the transition from Bang 2 to Bubblegum is really seamless. I think if I'm recalling correctly, it is the most seamless transition to another song on the album, which is fine. Like, not every album has to be a seamless transition. I actually don't always love when that happens. I kind of like to skip around and have like their own moments, you know, but I do like a project to feel like it's its own cohesive piece, regardless of if it transitions into the same song. Does that make sense? Probably not, but that's how I feel. So on the second track of the album, Bubblegum, there's a producer called Chicken, and his name, if I'm not mistaken, is pronounced Burke Batelli, and it's listed as 2 people on Spotify, which I thought was interesting. And I also want to say here, sorry if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, please forgive me. I am terrible with names. But secondly, none of the lyrics except for the 3 singles were on here. So I had to like look them up on Genius to be able to like find these lyrics and like read them that way. Because usually before I do an album review, I like to read all the lyrics. And Chase Icon will be talking about lyrics later, but she's always got zingers. You know she got zingers. So I was trying to do the lyrics and I had to do a little extra work. So I was kind of confused why that was the thing. And then they list the producer and the writer credit a little bit differently, which I know sometimes people use different aliases to like for how they claim their credit or money or like however it's getting broken down. So I thought that was really interesting. But Chicken is a reoccurring theme on this album because he is a producer for most of the songs on here. We also have Aisha Erotica on the 2 songs of the album, which is looks good. Aisha Erotica. I love Aisha, okay? I love her. She is my mother, even though I'm much, much older than her. With this song, I feel like Sophie isn't dead any longer, and I feel like she lives on in all of our hearts and all of our sounds and all of our music, because this song truly, production-wise, reminded me so much of some of Sophie's work. And I don't know if that was purposeful or if it was just Chicken's own style and Chase's own style on the song, but I love just like all the little influx of sound like in the headphones, like how much production work goes into that. If you guys don't listen to music with headphones ever, like you should, because you really are missing out on a lot of things sound wise that way. Like I love listening to like how things echo, how the reverb is, like the production of just like tiny minute notes. It really does add to the whole build of the song, right? It really is a project. And I think a lot of people will like listen to a song once and be like, oh, that sucks. And I don't ever want that to be me, even though it has been me in the past. So I love this song. It's so good. Lyrically, it's not my favorite song on the track, or on the album rather, but it is a really good song and it's really fun. It's very dancey. I like it a lot, guys. I really do. I think the Sophie fans are going to come out of the woodwork for this album because there's a lot of Sophie vibe on there as far as production goes. And I think that is ode to Aisha, and I think that is ode to Chicken specifically on this album. There's a few other producers that I've mentioned as well that are really talented as well, but that Chicken and Aisha always are standing out to me these days. I did just discover Chicken today/yesterday, but I did listen to a lot of their other stuff. So I feel like we can expect great things from Chicken. My favorite lyric on this song is she says, "I love dick like I love my surgeon." How iconic is that? That is so freaking iconic. Oh my God. Woo. So the third track is Chase Bank, and it has Carrie Singer, who was the producer, and then we have Jesse St. John on the lyrics. Plus, of course, Chase Icon has her hand in all of these songs. She's helping write, she's helping produce in some of them, I believe, and also lyrically. But how could I not like Jesse St. John? I have to love another Jesse because we share something so much dearer than a soul connection. We share a name. This one is a little more straightforward lyrically as well. It's dancey, it's fun. I like the mixing on this one as well. It wasn't like a standout track on the album to me. It felt like more filler, if you will, but it is still a fun little song, and I was grooving, I was wiggling to it. I did like the production on this as well. The production, again, it was good, but it wasn't like crazy anything. Like I was like not taking notes on like why this production was groundbreaking, you know what I mean? But as far as like being a cohesive song on the album, I really did enjoy it. The song is basically about, you know, going to the bank and being rich. Like, I mean, who doesn't love money? But yeah, I really liked it, and the mixing is fun. Now, Work on Job Application, guys. Oh my goodness. This song, whenever it dropped, I was like, thank God. Thank God I have Chase Icon in post notifications on YouTube so I could see her new music video. That was my thoughts. And the music video is, you can tell it's low budget, but it is fun. It's a fun little video, like the elevator scene, like the filter. Love, 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 love. She looks iconic per the usual. And guys, I need to say something here. So stop! Stop it all. Stop it all, people. I need to talk for a moment. I produced a video. This was when I wasn't back on the tubes yet. I wasn't on the YouTubes. I was doing the TikToks, okay? And guess what? I made a video about Aisha Erotica, and it got taken down by TikTok because Aisha Nicole Smith, my doll, I did not, I don't know. I think the algorithms didn't like me saying the E word, aka her last name. And I don't know if I'll be able to leave it in here on the internet either, because sometimes you say these words and the algorithms don't like it. So this whole video, I made like, it was like a 20-minute video, and it got taken down, and I was saying some pretty controversial things about Aisha because I love Aisha and I think she has atoned for a lot of the negative things she said, but also she said some things on Twitter, which, you know, I'm not here to judge anybody on what they say. That's none of my business. Okay. You do you and I do me. So like, I love Aisha. I think producer wise, she's so talented. I think she's a talented vocalist. And she's really been pushing the bar of music forward. And I think a lot of the sounds you're hearing today are from Aisha Erotica and her influence on the world and her influence on pop culture. And if you don't realize that, then you need to look a little bit more into her story. But I talked about that much more at length. And guys, I could make a whole video on Aisha, but I've been kind of waiting to say my full thoughts on a full-length album, like whenever she puts out her next album or big project. That's really when I want to talk about this. But I want to say here specifically that in this video that I'm referencing, I talked about Chase Icon because I was like, Chase Icon's sound sounds so much like Aisha. And this was like about her new work, okay? I was like, why does this sound so much like Aisha? Is she stealing her sound? That was my initial thought. And this was before we knew that Aisha was producing for Chase, okay? So I was like, what the heck, everybody? I was telling every queer that would listen to me. I was like, listen! I was like, please, you guys don't understand. And everybody wrote me off. And then guess what? The live stream happened. Okay, the live stream happened with Chase Icon and Aisha's back. So we're all like, oh my God, is Aisha coming back? Is she coming back to the socials? And then guess what? She comes out as a producer for the song that I literally was like, this sounds like Aisha Erotica. Do I have proof of this? No. Do I have proof that I can show you here? No. But just know that it is true. And I don't lie to you guys on the internet. That's not my thing. Okay, lying on the internet's not my thing. It might be your thing. Hate comments might be your thing, but it's not my thing. So I was just shocked by this. I was shocked that Aisha was actually working with her. I was like, oh my God, is Chase Icon, stealing the vibe? But I'm happy to know that they're still friends and working together because iconic. There's a reason why Aisha Erotica calls Chase Miss Iconic. So yes. Lyrically on Job Application, I like the Amanda Bynes reference because I love Amanda Bynes. She's one of the many people I worship at my church. Yep. And guess what? I don't have gummy bear implants, but I do have massive titties. Double B. The next track is called Detour, and it has Chicken on the track as the producer. Guess what? Thank you. Hey, thank you, Chicken. Thank you, because it is such a good song. This might be my favorite song on the album, actually. Lyrically, sonically, production-wise, this might be my favorite song on the album. It might be. The next song is called Misconnections, and this one also has Chicken on the producing of the track. And guys, I lied. This might be my favorite track on the album. I don't lie to you guys on the internet. Guys, I literally feel that way about so many tracks on here. Like, it is so freaking good. And I'm looking at my notes here because the underlick and the scale strumming reminds me so much of like a Super Mario 64 like moment in a weird way. And I don't know if you guys are going to follow this analogy. And if you're not, that's fine. But to me, it reminds me of like the water levels of Super Mario 64 just a little bit, like not in, I don't know. It's just like if I was trying to make a Mario level music, that's how I would make the strum of this. But like in a good way. You know what I'm saying? Like it's in a good way. This is not a negative thing. It's so good. The mixing of this is so good. And this song also has like a funny element to it, which I think a lot of Chase's music has like a little bit of comedy to it, even if you're not picking up on it in like the tone of her voice and stuff. Like she's a funny gal. She's a funny gal. And if y'all have been around since her TikTok days, which guess what? I remember those days. I remember those Lady Gaga impersonations. Yes, I do, girl. And I just think she's funny and I think she knows what she's doing. So this song is so fun and there's guys, my favorite lyrics on the song. Okay, let me just read them here to you so I don't get them wrong. But she says, there's this other guy. His name was Clyde. I'll say his real name cuz well, he died. Guys, it's so funny. And the song's kind of about like, you know, different misconnections that you have and like what happened like with the certain boys, right? And it reminds me of my own misconnections in my life. You could only explain this like to queer people because the amount of weird things that you go through as a queer person trying to date or go on dates. Like I literally had a guy who I had been talking to. I thought he ghosted me. Speaking of ghosting, he got stabbed. This was years ago. He got stabbed and was in the hospital. And then afterward, we talked again because he didn't die. And then he ghosted me. So he ghosted me twice. This next song is called IDGAF. And if you don't know what that means, Google it. It is produced by Chicken, because guess what? Chicken's on a lot of these tracks. And you know when I said I don't lie on the internet, guys, I think I lied again. I think I just lied again because this song might be my favorite production-wise. Oh my God, could it be? Could it be my favorite production-wise? I guess I'm just gonna have to get back to you guys because it sounds like the whole album is my favorite production-wise. There's too many icons on here. Guys, I need to ride dick to this song. I need to go to church to this song. I need to wiggle to the song. You know, maybe I need to ride to this song. I don't know. Like this song really makes me feel things and I just need to Control delete because guys, this song, you need to listen to it. I might argue that if you need to listen to one song from the album, it might be this song. It might be IDGAF because guys, I don't and I won't and I shan't and I wa'n't. Let's go on a rant. We've all heard it at this point. SoCal Girl, which Aisha Erotica is the producer on this track. Now, in the last podcast episode, I did say I hope that we get an Aisha Erotica collaboration. I already knew about these two collaborations, so I want to make that clear here. I was hoping for a third, maybe a feature on the album, but it's okay. It's okay. I feel like we'll get that at a later time in life, but now is not the time. The world just wasn't ready for it. Chase Icon had to have her moment, right? The world wasn't ready for that collaboration and that feature. So I forgive the Jeffree Star and all the other gods, Lindsay Lohan, Amanda Bynes. You know, I forgive them for not letting the stars align in that way. And that's okay. But this song, lyrically, it has some zingers on there too. Like, guys, it's pretty funny how much Chase can put into a song. Like, it's iconic and she's funny and she's witty and the reads. And I love her rhymes too. The way, like, one thing about Miss Chase Icon is she loves a rhyme. And she also loves to, like, she'll use like the same word, but in a different way in the same line in the bar sometimes. And I freaking love that. I like when rappers do it too, but I love like when she does it. It's so fun. Illegally Blonde was produced by Pixel Hood, which I didn't know who he was either because guys, I just have to say it and I don't want any hate from anybody. And if I get it, hey, we're going to fight. How about that? But this video was posted on YouTube and yes, I am all 26,000 streams. Okay. I am. I was playing the song so much. And guys, thank you to Chase Icon for freaking putting it on the album because I needed this. I'm going to have to run it up. I'm going to have to do like 40,000 streams to make up for my mistakes because this song is like literally my hype song. I listened to this and I listened to I listened to Eyelash Curlers and Butcher Knives, What's the Difference by Jeffree Star, and I listened to Illegally Blonde when I'm getting ready to film the podcast. Not just today. Today I was listening to the whole album, but in general, these are the two songs that are my hype songs right now. That and Record Deal by Cobra. Those are the three songs that I'm like, right before I film, I have to hype myself up because we're on, baby. We're on like it's Donkey Kong. You may be Diddy Kong, but I'm Donkey Kong because I look like an ape. Yeah, I look like an ape. And what? And what, people? Are we just going to sit around here and keep talking about how big I'm getting? Like, guys, okay, I realized who I am and I realize what I look like and I realize that I shouldn't be streaming unreleased music, but I feel like Chase was fine with us doing that. In fact, I believe she said something in the interview about it coming out. I had heard rumors. I had I've heard rumors that it was coming out, and now that it is out, I'm extremely excited. I'm extremely ready, and my heart is happy, and I am filled with so much joy because 30 inches, I'm illegally blonde. I'm going platinum, okay? I'm not going platinum. I can't do that, but actually, maybe I will. Could I? Could I? Also, this song could not be my favorite on the album because I liked it before it was on the album. So it is a contender now that it is on the album, but I love it. It is so good. If I'm being hypercritical, Mary-Kate and Ashley is probably my least favorite track on the album. I still liked it. It is still a good song, but if we're in a ranking of these 12 tracks, it's going to be at the bottom for me. It would like still had some catchy lyrics. The production was good. The production was good. It was chicken. It was chicken, but it was good. It wasn't like a standout song to me. And if I was like gun to my head and had to, cut a song from the album, it would be this one. But it did have some fire lyrics on it as well. That being said, I still liked it. I'm just saying that if you guys are being critical and we're like, I would say that one. I will say the most funny lyric to this on this song, like there are some nice like bars on here, but the funniest lyric to me was the more famous than the Beatles, skinny as a needle. That cracked me up, guys. That really cracked me up. And so like I really did enjoy the song and I've listened to it again. Like it's not a skip for me, but ranking wise might be my least favorite on the album. Bands on Me is also produced by Chicken and it has a fun spin on a tongue twister about the reason we exist. Money. In this song, whenever she says they bleep it with the royalty-free bleep sound effect, which cracked me up because my first listen through, I was not expecting that because I was expecting uncensored. And I lost it. It was like midnight and I freaking lost it while I was writing my paper and listening because I was like, this is crazy. Like I just wasn't expecting it. So that just adds back to like her being hilarious because she knows that and she knows that part of the album, like no one's going to be expecting that, right? Because she has not bleeped out any other potty word she's said or any other sexual innuendo. So I think that is so freaking funny and so creative too. And who doesn't love a good royalty-free bleep? You guys know I do. The album ends on Like Me. I'm going to pop the production up on the screen for you guys for this one because it has the most writers and 2 producers on it as well. And I thought that was interesting, which it was kind of the single, right? So it is doing really well. But I thought it was interesting that we had this many producers and writers on it. But guys, comparatively to a lot of superstars right now, like I'm not going to say names, but there's a lot of people that are using a lot of writers. And I don't think 4 is unusual at this point in the game. So for a lot of people, in fact, we're seeing like 5 and 6 for some people. So I don't know. I think like for it being a single, I understand like a lot of work goes into these things, but I am very impressed with Chicken's work. I love whenever an artist can work with like one producer and like they're the writer, right? I love that. I think it shows so much talent. Or if they're like a writer and producer on their track, that is a lot of talent and it's really crazy and it's really cool to have that mad talent and be successful because a lot of people don't do all that work themselves. They outsource or, they are signed to a label that finds it for them. So it's really cool. And on this album, this project is like not just lyrically and sonically and mixing wise, such a great piece of work. Also, the production that is going into her looks. Oh my God, I cannot wait for any videos. Like if there's any videos coming out, Chase Icon, please give us videos. Please. I pray to Jeffree Star and everybody in between. Please, can we get some videos for this? Like, oh my God, I know they're going to be next level. So I hope she can get the funding she needs to pump out the videos, because video killed the radio star, baby. So what I think I've learned from this album is that I need to be more of a hoe this year. And I love Chase Icon and she's everything. And I've become a fan of Chicken. I've become a fan of Chicken. Not that I didn't like Chicken before, but I didn't really know who they were. So Chicken, I like you. I followed you on Instagram. But yeah, there's a lot of really talented people on this album. Of course, Aisha and everybody else, like really talented producers and writers. And I'm really excited to see what all of these people do next, not just Chase Icon. So go give Chase Icon your streams, go buy her merch, go buy her records, go like her Instagrams and her Twitters and everything else, okay? Or else I will delete the internet. Okay, guys, we are going to end this podcast on a fragrance because guess what? I have a new candle that my best friend gave me. And this is a Tuscany candle and it's the Farmhouse Collection Garden Herbs. And it contains essential oils and it's a soy blend candle and it's 12 ounces, which is 340 grams. It kind of smells like sage a little bit, which I wonder if there's any notes. Warning, burn candle within sight. Keep away from things that contain fire. Wait, what? Catch fire. What contains fire? LOL. Are you guys ready for this? I love fire. Well, I would like to say thank you if you made it this far because, guys, I know I'm a lot to handle sometimes, but if you can't handle me, maybe that means you're not enough. Not that I'm too much. Perhaps the problem is you. Yeah, I said it. Thank you guys for watching episode 15 of the Wig Alopecia podcast. I'll catch ya in the next video. Bye, guys.